Hello everybody, I'm PsyStarcraft. Welcome back to another StarCraft 2 commentary. If you haven't heard, there's not going to be a BlizzCon this year. Oh, it's so sad. But maybe that means they'll make up for it by releasing Heart of the Swarm and Diablo 3 and maybe announcing their new MMO Titan or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's just kind of I don't even know. I don't even know what I was going to say. Anyway, we have a map on Shakira's Plateau. It is a Zerg versus Terran. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's going to be vilePsY in the top right. That is myself as the red Zerg. Check out vilegaming.com to learn more about our team and all our cool players and stuff like that. In the top left is Windir, or Windir, whatever you want to call it. As the blue Terran, ZVT, Shakira's Plateau. Overlord will be scouting in the correct position. They cannot spawn down here, so there's no point in even scouting that. You won't be in the bottom left. And, you know, there's some things you have to be careful about against Terran and Shakira's Plateau. First is 3 bunkers blocking you out when you fast expand. Now, what I like to do when I think that might be the case, or pretty much any game against Terran on this map, is if your opponent is in the top location, get a drone on this tower. If your opponent is in the bottom location, get a drone on this tower. That way, once you see like 4 SCVs and a couple Marines like running on up here, you can pull off all your drones or a lot of your drones and stop that from happening and get a little edge up with that expansion going down. So that's one thing. Also, the 2 racks is something you have to worry about. I guess this kind of is a 2 rack. So, and also Hellion play. You want to get your roaches out early because this choke isn't as small as a lot of other chokes. You can't really block it as easily. And also this one I don't think can be blocked by 1 queen, so they can get right up into your main as opposed to other maps. So yeah, Hellions and the early barracks play. But anyway, I'm going for a 15 hatch rate, and here comes that probe, or that drone, to watch to see if he is going to try that crazy bunker shenanigans. Looks like he is just throwing down 1 barracks. No second barracks to be seen. He's taking the gas on the far side. Now this is actually really smart. If you're a Protoss, Terran, or Zerg, or any race really, and you're in close air positions like this is right now, get the far away gas, because if my Overlord, looks like he did, my Overlord spotted this gas, and if I saw this gas, I wouldn't have to worry about a thing. This drone's gonna have to worry about something. Oh, barely gets away. But instead he got this far gas. He kept me guessing. I'm not really sure what he's doing right now. Could still be a 2 racks. I think nope, didn't get up the ramp, so I'm not really sure, but my spawning pool is almost complete, so I'm feeling relatively safe. Gas going up around 17, gonna start that right away, get the speed going once I hit 100 there, and he is gonna shoot that drone away from the watchtower. That's fine with me. I'm gonna make this drone into a spine. Always nice to get 1 spine against Terran players. It really, it's not that good against Hellions because they can just kind of run around and stuff, but it really deters Hellions. Terran players don't like having to take 2 hits on their Hellions to get into your base and try to drone harass, so always nice for 1 spine, plus, you know, any crazy like Marine timings just are completely useless when you have a spine on the field. So it looks like we're seeing 6 Zerglings. Wouldn't recommend 6 Zerglings, especially against Hellions. What I've been doing a lot of the past games is like you'll get 4 Zerglings and you'll press out, and then by the time you get to their base there's Hellions and all your Zerglings die. So I really would prefer getting 2 Zerglings from now on instead of 6. I mean 2 or 4. 4 is fine, but just don't send all 4 of them out. Maybe send 1 to the watchtower, keep 2 at your base, and send 1 to their to out here, because this is exactly why. Hellions will come out really fast, just tear up your Zerglings, and we might see that actually happen this game. I've got 6 Zerglings, looks like 1 on each watchtower, and these guys are going back to base. So not being too careless with my links, and that's good. I am recognizing that Hellions are a likely possibility. Harvest count now 25 to 21 in just a moment here. I do see these Hellions run by. I know exactly what to expect. Roachborn is a little bit late. You want that Roachborn to be here much sooner than the opponent can get 4 Hellions, because even with the spine and a couple links, 4 Hellions can be so nasty. And this Roachborn, if it was earlier, you know, just 2 roaches, 3 roaches, so darn good against Hellions. Just kind of sit them in your mineral line, keep them at your choke, whatever you feel works best. And here comes the next Hellions that I was able to see just barely with these links. Now this Overlord should be flying in eventually to see if he's going to be expanding, what he's going to be transitioning to, and stuff like that. But he's just kind of hanging out for the time being. You know, it's okay. It's okay. He has an expansion. There goes my phone. Expansion ready. So he's going a harass build, pretty standard Terran build. 4 Hellions into an expansion into Marine tank, I'm guessing. His Hellions just kind of chilling, and this is what I mean, man. This is why spines are so awesome. He doesn't know it, but he could just run right on through, right past the spine, and stab or fire away at all these drones and kill so many. But the spine is such a great deterrent, even if it actually wouldn't do that much damage. It might be enough time for me to get my roaches out. It looks like it will be. 4 roaches on the way. Now I'm going to be droning up since I will be seeing this expansion. Yes, I can see that. I'm going to be droning up now because I can see that expansion. I'm going to push these hellions away. And once these hellions are away, I'll be safe to take my 3rd base. So we should see that going down any second. Pretty standard opening. This is really how you want to deal with a typical Terran opener with hellions. Just be careful not to overproduce units. You can see I've only got 6 Zerglings this entire game and 4 roaches. 2 or 3 roaches actually would have been fine, and 2 or 4 Zerglings would have been fine. So it doesn't look like I'm making a lot of units, but I actually could have done a little bit better. So always room for improvement. Here come the extra gases. The layer is on the way, as well as the drone somewhere. I was going to say the drone should be on the way to make that 3rd hatchery. It's 43 to 32, but he does have mules going for him, so the economy isn't too lopsided. I'm ahead on gas. He's ahead on minerals. Roach is just kind of controlling the middle of the map, Lings on the towers, and pretty much no way Hellions can get by this. I should probably spread out my roaches a little bit better, but I can see the Hellions coming ahead of time, so it's not too important. I do have a 3rd queen. I love getting a 3rd queen. Drop down those tumors. Here comes a 3rd base around 840. Could have come a bit sooner. You can see I'm floating a little bit of money here. So yeah, always after you get your roaches, throw down that extra base, man. You need that base as soon as possible. Layer is now complete. +1 attack for my Lings coming, and a Spire as well. I'm just going to transition into normal Mutiling Baneling, which is why I'm getting the +1 melee attack, and I'm getting my Spire. Now we can see Windir is actually preparing a 3rd base as well. Now this is a little bit faster than is typical for Terran. Instead of a timing attack with maybe Tank Marine Hellion, Tank Marine, something like that, he is going to be going for a 3rd base, so he's trying a macro game. And a little bit unusual is he's made it an orbital command. Now I know as a Zerg player, I hate playing against planetary fortresses, especially if they're in a forward location like this, because like the tower's right here and their base is right there. They're always going to control the tower. So obnoxious not being able to have a Ling on the tower. And yeah, he decided to make it an orbital. I guess he likes that better. Here's a lot of Marines and Hellions moving out, and I kind of felt like this was a bluff. I had a Ling on the tower, and I feel like that's not very many Marines and Hellions, man. I can just get like 3 more roaches and deal with that just fine. So I don't panic and produce Lings or roaches because I know my Spire is close. If it's not a bluff, I'll just have to stall a little bit with this number of Lings and this number of roaches. I've got plenty of creep that he'll probably be hesitant to move on to, so I'll just wait for mutas, and that's exactly what it was. I see he's not coming forth on this creep, and he's just instead controlling these towers. He's got to be careful, though. Once these mutas come out, my force is going to be much bigger than his, and it's going to be able to take him out. A couple gases on my expansion here. It's now 61 to 49, and he just wanted to clear away for this expansion, but this sneaky little overlord is going to see that expansion, and that's exactly why he took this tower. So kind of a smart move controlling the tower so I don't see the orbital command, but it's kind of bad luck for him that my my overlord just happened to be there. So a lot of Lings and mutas on the way instead of drones, and my mindset right now is he's taking a fast 3rd base. I didn't see any tanks in his main composition. I think I can attack that. It's an orbital command. It's not even a planetary fortress. So I'm going to be pumping a lot of units here. You can see the +1 for my mutas is on the way as well. What am I doing? There we go. +1 for my mutas is on the way as well. He's working on saturating that 3rd base, busting down the rocks. But here come my mutas. He is not ready for it. He's got the turrets just now on the way. My lair was a bit faster than normal. Going to be able to snipe a lot of SCVs. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, and if I knew his engineering bay was so close to being finished with the upgrades, I would have gone for it. And actually, as I was flying over this, I was like, 2 NG bays. I hate that because Terran with upgrades are so dangerous. I wonder if I can kill it. But I decided against it. Looks like I was able to kill 8 workers instead, and I actually lost a couple of mutas, so that's not good. And now that I have drawn his Marines into his main like so, I feel like his 3rd might be vulnerable. So I go in with a lot of Lings that are +1 compared to the Terrans +1 as well. Mutas coming in, roaches supporting. Would have been nice if the roaches went in first so they could soak up the damage. The mutas taking a lot of hits there. But I am able to do decent damage. A couple SCVs dying in the main. And looks like I am going to clean up the Marines. Where are the rest of his Marines? Here they come. That tanks needs to get down there and siege up. More units rallying. Got to keep up on your injects. And, yep, looks like we are keeping up on the injects. And doing a lot of damage. I had killed 8 before, and now I've killed 21 workers. So 13 workers have died in this exchange right here. More Lings rallying. You just want to rally Lings, mutas as much as you can. You want to keep the pressure on your opponent. Looks like I might be able to tilt him, but more Marines coming out, and his +1's almost finished, so that could be kind of dangerous. And it's really difficult when there are units attacking your own units to just focus down SCBs. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of splitting some links for his SCBs and some links for his army. He's now lost 21 workers, same as before, but I have a couple units in there, a couple mutas firing away at that overload command. But I mean, this was kind of an important moment when I saw that expansion and I saw a lot of his Marines in the main. It was like a little Japanese kid dancing with a bunch of glow sticks in my head. I knew he was trying to tell me something, and it was that his base just wasn't protected. And this is why I prefer planetary fortresses over orbital commands as a Terran. I know it's really fun having scans and mules and stuff, but this kind of thing can happen with just a normal Ling muta timing, and I'm actually throwing away tons of mutas. Holy cow, so many mutas being thrown away, and down goes the orbital command. I'm going to choose to retreat now because my army's kind of lackluster right now. I'm going to retreat. I've got a macro hatch coming, I've got a 4th base coming, and these were a bit overdue. I started stockpiling a lot of minerals, and when you're on 3 base, you need a couple macro hatches, especially if you're going Ling Muta. Now, normally I would see this and I'd be like, oh, well, that's undersaturated, but once you're on 3 base and almost about to be on 4 base, you really got to keep an eye on your harvesters. Now, I'm at 65. So I can produce about 10 more, but I really want those to go to this this base down here. So I'm actually not making too many drones right now. I'm making mostly Lings, +2 attack for each of my units on the way. I've got Overlords covering all of these air paths. I've got an Overlord covering this air path, and speak the devil, he's going to see that drop right there. And now I'm thinking, okay, I probably wanted to attack because, you know, he's trying to fortify, he's trying to get consolidated again, and also he's missing 8 Marines and a medevac, so I'm like, okay, let's do it. I go in, tons of Marines getting blasted by the tanks and the Marine, or the Lings, and they're gonna follow up. Units are gonna follow up. A couple tanks going down here, not yet able to complete the command center, and this bunker is gonna shred those Lings though. Lots of mutas, 10 more Lings rallied, 5 more mutas rallied. This bunker is not even loaded at all. It's always good to have bunkers loaded. Pro tip, guys, it's always good to have bunkers loaded. Continuing to rally units, I just want to deny his 3rd base while taking my 4th base. Got to get those gases up as soon as possible. And around this time is where you want to consider getting your infestation pit for hive tech, because if he is able to fortify this with a planetary fortress, it could be kind of bad for me. I don't know if he'll be able to. That's a lot of mutas, 12 mutas and Lings to soak up the damage. I am going to run back. That bunker kind of scares me, but still, it's not loaded. Not loading any of his bunkers. Uh-oh. These mutas want to do something. Yes, they are going to run back. Good mutas, good. 40 Lings on the way. I now have a macro hatch. Whoa, a drop in the main. Killing so many drones, I think. Oh, only killing 7 drones. He's lost 49 drones, or 49 SCVs. That's a ton of SCVs. Only a fucking Terran. Sorry, a random F-bomb. Can lose 49 SCVs and still be in the game with just a silly little drop. But he is taking a lot of damage right here. Muta's just tearing things up. And at this point, I knew my main was like kind of dead, even though I could have saved it. But I knew he was probably going to lose the game. So I was just like, I don't even care. I'm just going to kill you. You can kill every single building but one if you want. I know you're way behind. I know I'm just going to destroy your base. And yeah, see, I'm getting kind of cocky. Giving him a tip, kind of a backhanded tip. I mean, letting him know his bunkers weren't loaded, but it is kind of an asshole thing to say. He thought so too. He thinks I'm being a prick. These drones are now going at these Marines just because I can. It's 134 to 44 though, so that doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, just putting on the pressure. I think the main point of this game is, first of all, have a solid opening where, wow, these Queens +2 Marines not doing too well. Have a solid opening where you defend against, you know, the 3 bunker, where you defend against the Hellions, and where you cover the air paths with your Overlords. That's always good too. And then the mutas in the main doing some harassment and also baiting the Marines up, and then they attack at the 3rd while those Marines were gone. That attack wouldn't have done anything if he had those 50 Marines that he had in the main, but he didn't have those, so he was kind of caught off guard by that. These engineering base going down. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. He's going to BM me because I BM'd him. He is going to be flying these buildings to the corner of the map. He's got a barracks. He's got a barracks. He's got a barracks, and he's got a factory. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this game. What did he call me? Eat shits? Oh, that's not very nice at all. Come on, come on. I kept my BM StarCraft related with the loading the bunkers thing. You have to get all racist on me. Come on, Windir. And these barracks are going down. I'm saying he's mad, and he says kind of, and it gets finished off. This base was mining gas pretty happily towards the end there. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a fun little action-packed ZVT as always. And thanks for pooping.